How's it going, everybody? We have talked about the renown changes many times now. All the TG iterations that they went through, all the different small changes to zone capture times, different renown bonuses. I understand that it can get a little confusing, and at a certain point people just check out and don't care anymore. So we are going to keep it simple today. Now that the changes finally went live, what does it mean for you, the average matchmaking player? We're going to mostly disregard what these changes mean for competitive, for now at least. I will make a separate video about that once we've seen the first tournaments on this patch. I'll talk to some of these players, and then hopefully I can give you a better picture. But for today, let's just focus on the few key takeaways for us normal players. No boring numbers or anything like that, just implications for your everyday matchmaking game. The first thing, you are no longer limited on what you are supposed to do to gain renown by the arbitrary class system that Ubisoft has assigned to every hero. The way of thinking that heavies need to boost a point, assassins need to go for kills, or vanguards need to clear mid, all that is no more. Every class gains the exact same amount of points for a kill, for capturing a point, or for farming minions. If you fancy going mid as a gladiator, then you can do so and gain just as many points per minion as an Ibushi. Obviously, the kit of the hero still plays a role how well you can perform a certain task, but you are no longer limited, or rather hamstrung, by the class of your character. This should now also mean that you unlock your feats at roughly the same time if you have an equal performance on every hero. Assassins will no longer massively trail behind in feats, unlike before where they had to go on massive kill streaks. This standardization of the renown gain was the least controversial aspect of this patch, and I don't think I've heard a single person speak out against this. It was more overshadowed by all the other changes. So while you should still do things that your character is actually suited for, the game no longer actively punishes you for doing something else, because there are assassins with pretty decent mid clear, and there are heavies that do pretty well when it comes to going on kill streaks. What you can now focus on is strategy without any limitations. I know I said that we're keeping it simple, but that doesn't mean that everyone should play like a baboon and completely ignore the tactical elements that a team mode like Dominion brings to the table. With that in mind, strategy became a whole lot easier. Why? Because confusing and not really intuitive elements like Defender Renown got removed. No longer is there an artificial reason why you should not push for an enemy held point. There are still the obvious reasons like, hey, there are 3 people on that point and all my teammates are dead. Is it a good idea to now attack them all? Now it's actually about these kinds of decisions. Decisions you should have already been making for however many years you've been playing this game. But we all know that many players act on very base instincts. Monkey see, monkey kill. So if you have such a player on your team, because the game decided it was time to put some ankle weights on you because you've been winning too many games, then this singular player will no longer be as much of a hindrance as previously. They can no longer feed hundreds and hundreds of defender renown by continuously pushing an enemy home point. They will still feed renown, but not to the same extent anymore. One player who decided to hold a concert and feed a whole nation will need to do it much longer than before. In short, one idiot won't drag the whole team down to the same degree as pre-patch. And then one more thing, the importance of mid. And it's not like in the old days where farming mid was the main objective. This time around, holding mid is what you want to put emphasis on. Farming, it is just a bonus. Holding mid went up in value, which should mean that a lot of contesting of said point should happen. Because if not, then the team holding it gets to farm it as well. Fights should happen more often now in the minion lane. Team fighters with big sweeping hitboxes that clear at the same time are still very strong for the obvious reasons. But like I said, it's not about boosting points so much anymore, as holding the mid lane is equal to boosting a side point. While the side points are still of vital importance for healing, the point generation has now shifted more towards mid. Or rather, the importance of all the 3 points has reached an equilibrium. We already had very mid-focused maps, and the scoreboard on these maps should now be a little more reflective of what was actually happening in the match, instead of inflating the score of one team since attacking home points was so severely punished. but we're getting carried away. Let's sum it up. The 3 main points you should remember from this video. First, all renown gain is now equal among all classes. Second, a singular idiot can't drag your team down as much anymore. And third, try and focus the minion lane more than you have done in the past. And that's it. I will make more videos on this once the strategical possibilities are a little clearer and people figure out how to punish mindless backup attempts, which we, quite frankly, will see a lot in the first tournaments. Or at least that's what I'm expecting. For now, I'll leave you with this one here. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters, everybody.